When you've got great quality Australian beef, it's really best not to do too much to it. As long as you cook it really well, you need very little ingredients. So I'm going to show you my recipe for beef tacos. It includes sirloin steaks, a very quick green sauce, and some tacos. Now let's talk about the beef to use for this. I'm using some sirloins. They're also called porterhouse. They're renowned for their juiciness, they're tender, and they cook easily. I also like that it's just got that little bit of fat there, so it protects the meat as it cooks. Now I've got a grill and I want that to be super hot. I've also removed my steaks out of the fridge about an hour ago. It's always best to cook your steaks when they're at room temperature so it cooks nice and evenly. So we'll start with a good glug of extra virgin olive oil. And whenever I'm grilling my steaks, I don't oil the pan, I like to oil the steaks because you don't need that much oil to it. Also a pinch of salt, and you can be quite generous with it. And just a hint of pepper, not too much pepper. If you put too much pepper, it can burn on the grill, so we just want a little bit there. And then we'll just rub all that salt and oil over our steaks. All right, time to grill these steaks. These steaks are about 200 grams, so they won't take too long to cook. It really depends on how you like your steaks. I like mine medium rare. So nice sizzle, on it goes. And I will keep checking them, but they're going to take about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. Now let's get on to the green sauce. I have a combination of coriander, parsley and mint. And some recipes will say to put this in a food processor and blend, but I find that it bruises the leaves, so it's best to chop these by hand. So get a really sharp knife and finely chop everything together. The results are second to none. So once I've chopped this coriander, I'm also going to finely chop the parsley and the mint and pop it into a bowl with some vinegar and some onion. All right, I've removed the steaks from the pan. I'm just allowing them to rest. Always let your steaks rest. I know I say it a lot, but it's super important just so it can relax, and we want all of those juices to go back into the meat. If you cut that straight away, the juices will go everywhere, leaving you with a dry piece of beef. We don't want that. We want it to stay juicy. So if that's been cooking for about 5 to 6 minutes, just let it rest for 3 minutes. I think there's this misconception that if you don't cut it straight away, then it's going to go cold. It won't. It will hold its residual heat. So to finish off this lovely green salsa, I have some chili here, just a long red chili. You could use a green one if you like. I've taken the seeds out. Don't want it to be too hot because I've got a lot of other flavours going on here. Just cutting them into strips, gather them together, and then we'll just finely chop the chili. So sharp knife, we'll run through that. I also love that pop of red in this. So that goes straight onto our onions. I've also already added that vinegar, some Tabasco, a few drops of that, and some oregano, dried oregano. I love the dried oregano for this recipe. And some garlic, fresh garlic. I'll mince that straight into our salsa. Little tap. I haven't seasoned this yet, so a good pinch of salt. And to bring the whole thing together, a generous amount of extra virgin olive oil. This is like the glue. We want it to bind, and that should do it. Give that a little stir. And the smell of all those herbs coming together is just so good. Very, very different if you pop this into a food processor. And I assure you, this is such a fast recipe. By the time you put your steaks on, you've got plenty of time to chop everything. So I will just add another glug of oil though, because I just want it to be a little more wet. And our sauce is ready to go. I would highly recommend not doing this too early because the fresher it is, the more vibrant it's going to be too. Another pan is on the heat, and I'm just going to warm up some tortillas. You can use little street tacos if you like, or a large variety, which I'm going to do. And let's slice this gorgeous steak quite thin. I'm leaving the fat on it because fat is flavour. You can take it off if you like. I would recommend though taking it off after you've cooked it. And look at this, it's blushing inside. It's pink from top to bottom. That is a good indication that the steak has been cooked well, it has rested well, and it's been brought out of the fridge before it's been cooked. All right, nice thin slices for this. Okay, see? No juices on the board, that's what we're after. All right, these tortillas have warmed up nicely. To serve this, I'll start with a little of the sauce on the bottom. And yes, you could add some sour cream, avocado, another type of salsa if you like, but I want it to be pure and simple. A few strips of this gorgeous sirloin on top. You can be quite generous with it. A little more sauce over the top. And then let's place them in this bowl just so they can stand up next to each other. This is the best way to present them so you can see it all. And the last one, oh, there you go. Beef tacos, the real deal, not mince with all of those other additives, just simple goodness there using good quality steak.